Okay, welcome to Mental Math. Be right with you. Okay, today's lesson 2.5, multiply using the distributive property. Okay, now I know you learned about the distributive property last year. We talked a little bit about it this year. So everybody, please turn to page 87 in your books, and we're going to do the investigate problem right now. Okay, so it says, how can you use the distributive property to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number? Okay, if you look at the model that they give you, the problem is 6 times 13, okay? And it says you can use the distributive property to break apart numbers to make them easier to multiply. The distributive property states that multiplying a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each addend by the number and then adding the products. Okay, so take a look at the picture here on page 87. All right, we have a person using a grid paper or graph paper to model 6 times 13. But notice what they did. They turned 13 into a 5 and an 8 because 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay, and this is going to make it a little easier to add. Okay, multiply first and then add. Let me take you over to the board and show you. Okay, here we go. Here's my model. As you can see, it's 6 times 13. But what I did was, I put a 6 on the left side. Here's my 6. And I've broken the 13 up into 5 and 8. And I draw a red line right down the middle. You can color in either side or both sides, different colors if you're going to use 2 colors, okay, to do this problem. So let's take a look. 6 times 5 is first. That's pretty easy. So 6 times 5 gives us 30. Okay, then we're going to do 6 times 8. 6 times 8 gives us 48. If you take those two products, 30 plus 48, you will get 78. And that is the same as doing 6 times 13. But it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay? So that's how you can use the distributive property when you're doing multiplication. And if you don't know your times tables, especially the higher ones, 13, 14, 15, you can break up the numbers. Break up one of those factors and turn it into an easier number to work with. Okay? So what I want you to do now is, on the bottom here, underneath, you notice there's a blank grid paper for you. I want you to do the same problem that we just did, but you're not allowed to use 8 and 5 anymore. So you're going to do 6 times 2 different numbers that would add up to equal 13, and you can't use 5 and 8 because we just did it. I would advise against using 12 and 1. Don't use that. Don't use, 6 times 1 and 6 times 12. Okay? Anything but 1 and 12. On this grid paper right here, I want you to draw for me another model using 2 different addends. Okay, when we break up that number, 13, break it up into 2 separate ones, color in your model. And up here, by the way, on the top, you should do just what this person did right here. Okay, to give you the hang of it. First, we're going to do 6 times 5 and 6 times 8. Then down below, you're going to change that 13, but not to 5 and 8, not to 1 and 12. And I really wouldn't prefer 2 and 11 either. But, if you want to, go right ahead, okay? Hope this helps you, and we'll be back again with another lesson.